Ilara floated through the asteroid market, her boots pressing lightly against the magnetic surface of the space dock. The market was chaotic. Even at this hour, traders shouted over each other, selling everything from ancient tools to scraps of starship engines. Ships of all sizes floated lazily nearby, tethered to the docking platforms. The smell of burnt metal and the hum of energy engines filled the air. Ilara loved this place. There was always something unusual here, something that could change her life. She had been exploring the outer rim for months, searching for rare technology that humans could study or sometimes sell. Today, though, she was not looking for ordinary parts. She was looking for a legend. The rumor had started weeks ago, whispered among scavengers and mechanics. A mythical spaceship was hidden somewhere in the outer rim. A ship from an age long forgotten, built with knowledge humans had only dreamed of. Many had searched, but no one had seen it, until now. As she wandered past a row of rusting cargo ships, her eyes caught something strange under a heavy tarp. The shape beneath was smooth, almost too perfect, unlike the rough edges of the surrounding wrecks. Curiosity prickled at her. She approached, her heart beating faster. The tarp was thick, heavy, and smelled of old metal. She grabbed it and pulled. Underneath was a spaceship, unlike any she had ever seen. Its hull shimmered faintly with a silvery glow, even though it was covered in dust. The curves were elegant, almost alive, like the ship had been designed by someone who understood both art and science. Its engines were shaped like flowing fins, and its cockpit seemed to beckon her. She reached out and pressed her hand against the hull. A soft vibration ran through her fingers, as if the ship were acknowledging her. Ilara stepped back, wide-eyed. Could this be it? She thought. The mythical ship she had been dreaming about? A voice called from behind her. Careful with that, said a man, with a greasy apron and a scar across his cheek. He was one of the local scrap merchants, always looking for someone rich or desperate enough to buy dangerous items. Ilara turned. I think this is what I'm looking for, she said, her voice trembling. The merchant laughed, a low, rough sound. That ship? Don't get too excited. It's not for sale, yet. And even if it were, you wouldn't want it. Authorities are planning to destroy it in 24 hours. They say it's too dangerous to exist. Ilara's stomach twisted. Destroy it? After centuries of hiding, after waiting for someone to find it, they were going to destroy it? She felt a surge of determination. Then I'll buy it. Whatever it takes, she said firmly. The merchant raised an eyebrow. Brave words, kid. Or maybe just foolish. This ship isn't just rare, it chooses its owner. Many have tried to pilot it. None have succeeded. Some never returned. Ilara studied the ship, her mind racing. Every warning made her more certain. She was not going to let this ship disappear. She would find a way. She negotiated with the merchant, trading rare artifacts and some credits she had saved. Finally, after hours of haggling, he shrugged. Fine. But remember what I said. This ship will test you. If it doesn't like you, it won't let you fly it. And if the authorities catch you, well, don't say I didn't warn you. Ilara spent the next hour carefully preparing the ship for removal. She connected a small propulsion module to the hull so she could lift it off the platform without drawing attention. Every moment she felt the ship hum beneath her hands, a gentle pulse that seemed to echo her heartbeat. As she activated the module, the ship's lights flickered. Soft golden lines traced the edges of the hull, forming patterns she had never seen before. The patterns moved like flowing water, responding to her touch. She gasped. It was alive, in a sense not breathing, but aware. Ilara took a deep breath. All right, old friend, she whispered. Let's get out of here before anyone notices. The magnetic lift hummed, lifting the ship slowly. Security drones buzzed nearby, patrolling the docks. Ilara's hands danced over the controls, guiding the ship quietly, carefully. Her heart pounded. One wrong move, and the ship could be damaged or worse, the authorities could intercept it. She cleared the dock without incident and propelled the ship toward a nearby asteroid belt. Here, she could hide it until she understood more about what she had found. The ship responded instantly, adjusting its thrusters and stabilizers. It was as if it had been waiting for someone to guide it, but only the right person could awaken its full potential. Hours passed as she navigated the ship deeper into the asteroid belt. The golden patterns on the hull glowed brighter in response to the asteroid's shadowy light. Finally, she found a secluded cave hidden within a cluster of massive rocks. Perfect for hiding. Alara docked the ship inside and stepped out, breathing in the recycled air of the asteroid. She looked at it from a distance. Awed. "This is bigger than I imagined," she whispered. The ship's hum seemed to answer her, almost like a soft sigh. As night fell over the asteroid, Alara camped nearby, thinking about what she had found. She knew this was not just a ship, it was a legacy. Someone, or something, had built it long before humans had reached the stars. And now it was hers, if it would accept her. Suddenly, the ship's lights blinked, forming a symbol she didn't recognize. It pulsed gently, almost like it was breathing. She stepped closer, her curiosity overcoming her caution. As she touched the hull again, the patterns shifted, forming a map of stars she had never seen before. Alara's eyes widened. It knows something," she murmured. "Something no human has ever seen." For the first time, she understood the gravity of her discovery. This ship was not just a vehicle, it was a key to the galaxy's secrets. But if the authorities destroyed it tomorrow, all of this knowledge would vanish. Her mind raced with questions. Why had it been hidden? Who had built it? And most importantly, could she unlock its secrets before it was too late? As she sat near the ship, gazing at the glowing patterns, Alara made a silent promise. She would not let the ship be destroyed. She would protect it, and if the legends were true, the ship might just help her do things humanity had never dreamed possible. A sudden vibration ran through her hand. The ship pulsed brighter, and a gentle voice echoed in her mind, not words, but feelings. Excitement, curiosity, caution. It was communicating, in a way only she could understand. Alara smiled, her resolve strengthening. "I don't know what you are," she said softly, "but I promise we'll figure it out together." The asteroid belt was silent around her, but inside the ship, energy flowed like water through a hidden river. The mythical spaceship had been waiting a long time for someone like her. And now, at last, it had found her. As night deepened and the stars glittered through the cave's entrance, Alara felt a thrill she had never known. This was only the beginning. The adventure, the tests, the discoveries, they were all ahead of her. Humanity might not yet know it, but she was about to show them something extraordinary. Somewhere deep within the ship, the systems hummed with anticipation. And as Alara lay under the soft glow of the hull, she thought, humanity isn't ready for this. But maybe, just maybe, I am. The countdown to destruction had begun. But Alara had the ship. And she had her courage. For the first time in her life, she felt truly alive. The asteroid belt was quiet, almost eerily so. But inside the hidden cave, the mythical spaceship hummed with life. Alara sat cross-legged on the floor, her eyes tracing the glowing patterns that shifted constantly along the hull. Each movement seemed purposeful, deliberate, as if the ship were aware of her presence. For a long time, she simply watched, feeling the pulse of energy through her fingers. Then she realized the ship was calling her not with sound, but with a feeling, a subtle tug in her mind. Curiosity and excitement mingled with caution. She stood up, approached the cockpit, and pressed her palm against the entry panel. The panel slid open silently, revealing a cockpit filled with holographic interfaces she had never seen before. Soft lights floated in the air, displaying star charts, energy readings, and symbols she could not decipher. Her fingers hovered above the controls. Then, almost instinctively, she touched one of the glowing panels. Suddenly, the ship reacted. The lights flared, and a holographic projection appeared in front of her. It was not a face, Not a being she could recognize, but it carried intelligence. Geometric shapes rotated and shifted, almost like the ship was trying to communicate. Alara's heart raced. I can't understand you," she whispered. But then, the shapes slowed, forming something she could recognize. A map of stars that she had never seen before, connecting lines between unknown systems. The ship was showing her a route, a path through uncharted space. And in the corner of the holographic display, a small pulse of light blinked repeatedly, almost like a heartbeat. Alara took a deep breath. "You want me to fly you?" she asked softly. The ship pulsed in response, vibrating under her hands. She felt a thrill of connection, like the ship had chosen her not just as a pilot, but as a partner. With careful hands, she guided the ship out of the asteroid cave. As it left, she realized the outer rim was not as empty as she thought. Patrol drones zipped past in organized patterns, scanning for stolen or illegal ships. One drone spotted a flicker of movement near the docking bay. Alara's pulse quickened. "All right, let's see what you can do." She engaged the engines, and the ship responded instantly. Unlike any human-made craft, it moved smoothly through the asteroid belt, twisting and turning with effortless grace. Alara barely had to guide it. The ship seemed to know how to navigate on its own, almost anticipating dangers before they appeared. She watched in awe as it darted through narrow gaps between massive rocks, the glow along its hull intensifying with each maneuver. A small asteroid suddenly broke loose from the belt, hurtling toward them. Instinctively, she reached for the controls, but the ship swerved on its own, gliding past the danger as if it were alive. Alara laughed in relief. "You're incredible," she said. The ship hummed softly, as if acknowledging her words. For the first time, she felt that humans were not alone in the galaxy. They had potential beyond their understanding. As they exited the asteroid belt, the stars stretched endlessly around them. The ship projected the holographic star map again, highlighting a route toward a distant, uncharted system. Alara leaned forward, fascinated. "You want to take me somewhere?" she asked. The ship pulsed. She realized it wasn't just a machine, it had intelligence, almost like a living being. And yet, it wasn't trying to dominate her. It responded to her courage and curiosity. Suddenly, a warning light flashed. Alara glanced at the display. Galactic authorities had detected the ship. Patrol vessels, sleek and heavily armed, were moving in fast. They must have scanned the asteroid belt and discovered the missing ship. Alara's hands shook slightly. "We can't outrun them forever," she muttered. But then the ship pulsed brighter, the energy running along its hull like a river of light. She felt a surge of confidence, almost as if the ship were telling her to trust it. She pressed her hands to the controls, not to direct, but to communicate. The ship responded instantly. In an instant, it performed a series of movements that defied normal physics. It bent light around itself, creating illusions that made it invisible to the patrol drones. Then it accelerated, faster than any human ship she had ever seen, leaving the patrols far behind. Alara gasped. I can't believe it," she whispered. She had heard stories of mythical ships, but never imagined one could actually do this. Hours passed as the ship carried her farther into uncharted space. Alara began to understand its nature. It was not just a vehicle, it was a guide, a teacher, and a test all in one. Each movement she made, each decision, was reflected back by the ship. It was learning her, just as she was learning it. As the stars streaked past, the ship displayed a series of symbols she could now interpret. They were challenges, routes through dangerous nebulae, asteroid fields, and radiation belts. Each path required intelligence, courage, and creativity to navigate. The ship was preparing her for something. Alara smiled. "So this is a test," she said aloud. "You want to see if I'm worthy?" The ship pulsed brightly, almost as if in agreement. She felt a thrill of excitement, mixed with fear. Her first challenge came sooner than expected. Ahead lay a dense nebula, clouds of charged particles swirling unpredictably. Human ships often became trapped in these clouds, their instruments failing, engines stalling. Alara studied the display, then touched the controls lightly. The ship responded in harmony with her thoughts, guiding her through the nebula with precision. Energy flares illuminated the cockpit as the ship adjusted in real time, protecting them from radiation and magnetic storms. Alara's hands moved in rhythm with the ship's signals, and together, they danced through the dangerous clouds. When they emerged, the stars shone brightly again. Alara laughed, a mixture of relief and joy. "I didn't think we could make it," she said. The ship pulsed gently, like a heartbeat of approval. As they traveled, Alara realized something incredible. The ship enhanced human potential. She could feel her reflexes sharpening, her mind thinking faster. The ship was teaching her how to trust herself, how to make decisions under pressure, how to act creatively rather than react. But the journey was not without danger. A massive rogue satellite, centuries old and heavily armed, suddenly activated its defense systems. It fired at them, and Alara felt the cockpit vibrate as energy shields activated. She instinctively pressed the guidance panel, but the ship did the rest, weaving through attacks and neutralizing the satellite's weapons with controlled energy pulses. When the danger passed, Alara's hands shook, but her heart was soaring. You're amazing," she said softly. The ship's glow dimmed. Like a calm sigh, she realized that humans had always been underestimated in the galaxy, not because of weakness, but because their courage and ingenuity were unique. Night in space stretched on. But Alara felt no fear. She had found a ship that could push humanity beyond its limits. A partner that recognized human potential. And yet, she knew this was only the beginning. The ship projected a new hologram, a small, distant star system, marked with a symbol she had never seen. Alara leaned forward. "Where is this?" she asked. The ship pulsed in response, guiding them toward the unknown. She felt excitement and anticipation mingling with fear. Whoever had built this ship had left it hidden for a reason. And now, it had chosen her. Alara realized that the authorities would not give up. Patrols would continue searching. Rumors of a human pilot with a mythical ship would spread, and danger would grow with every passing hour. But she was ready. The ship responded to courage, curiosity, and creativity, qualities humans had in abundance. And for the first time, Alara understood. This was not just a journey to escape, it was a journey to prove humanity's worth. Hours turned into days as they traveled through uncharted space. Alara learned to read the ship's signals intuitively, guiding it not with her hands but with her mind, her instincts, and her heart. Together, they moved like a single entity, a fusion of human ingenuity and advanced technology. At one point, as they passed through a cloud of glittering cosmic dust, Alara felt the ship pulse more strongly than ever. Patterns of light flowed across the hull, forming shapes that seemed like a story of civilizations that had risen and fallen, leaving behind knowledge hidden in the galaxy. She realized that the ship was part of something much bigger, a network of intelligence that humans had never imagined. Alara whispered, I think you want me to continue." The ship glowed brighter, almost as if nodding. She felt a wave of responsibility. This ship was not just a discovery, it was a gift, a test, and a challenge all at once. And deep in her heart, she knew that humanity was about to take its first true step into the stars, guided by courage, curiosity, and the partnership of a mythical ship that had chosen her. Alara had been traveling through uncharted space for days now. The stars stretched endlessly around her, glittering like jewels on black velvet. Yet, the thrill of discovery had not faded. If anything, it had grown stronger. The mythical spaceship, glowing softly with its golden patterns, had become almost like a living companion, responding to her courage and decisions with gentle pulses of energy. The ship's latest projection showed a system far ahead, a cluster of planets uncharted by humans or any known species. But this system was not just unknown, it was dangerous. Alara could sense it, not with fear, but with curiosity. The ship seemed to warn her that this was her first real test. "This is it, isn't it?" she whispered. "The first real challenge." The ship pulsed in response, brighter than before. as if confirming her thought. As they approached, sensors picked up a massive asteroid field surrounding the system. Each rock moved unpredictably, pulled by the gravity of unseen planets and stars. Human ships would have struggled to navigate it without destruction. Elara's heart pounded as she prepared herself. "All right," she said to herself, tightening her grip on the controls. "Let's see what you've got for me." The ship surged forward, almost as if it were reading her mind. It twisted and turned through the dense field, dodging massive asteroids that seemed like moving mountains. Every time Elara made a choice, the ship enhanced it, subtly adjusting trajectory and speed. Together, they moved as one human instinct, guided by ancient intelligence. Hours passed, but the real challenge was just beginning. A sudden energy storm erupted in the heart of the asteroid field. Lightning-like arcs of pure energy jumped between asteroids, sending dangerous pulses into space. The ship's hull glowed brighter, shielding them. But Elara could feel the tension in every movement. One wrong turn could be fatal. She closed her eyes for a brief moment, listening to the hum of the ship. Its energy pulsed in a pattern that seemed to synchronize with her heartbeat. She realized that panic would make them fail, but courage and careful thinking could see them through. Taking a deep breath, she guided them slowly but confidently into the storm, letting the ship respond to her instincts. The storm tried to push them off course, but the ship reacted instantly, bending energy around them and neutralizing most of the dangerous arcs. Elara felt a wave of awe. The ship was not just protecting her, it was teaching her. Every movement was a lesson in courage, focus, and ingenuity. When they emerged on the other side, she laughed aloud, a mixture of relief and exhilaration. "We did it! We actually did it," she said. The ship pulsed in approval, brighter than ever, almost like it was smiling, but there was no time to rest. Ahead, a massive structure floated in space. It was ancient, metallic, and unlike anything human eyes had ever seen, a station of unknown origin. Partially damaged but still radiating power. Elara could feel its energy, a strange combination of intelligence and danger. "This is it," she whispered. "The real test." The ship responded with a steady hum, almost like encouragement. As they approached, she realized that the station was guarded. Energy fields surrounded it, moving in complex patterns. Some of the fields were traps, designed to detect intruders. Others emitted strange pulses that interfered with technology. Human ships would have been destroyed instantly. Elara's mind raced. She studied the patterns, trying to understand them. The ship pulsed, almost guiding her, highlighting safe paths. She realized that brute force would not work here. To succeed, she had to think creatively, anticipate the dangers, and act with courage. The first trap activated as they moved closer. An energy net shot out toward them. Instinctively, Elara pressed a series of controls. But the ship moved with her, twisting and bending the net with controlled energy pulses until it dissolved harmlessly. She laughed in relief. "I can't believe we just did that." But the next challenge was harder. A portion of the station emitted a gravitational pulse, pulling the ship toward its surface at terrifying speed. Elara had to calculate her movements, factoring in speed, gravity, and energy output. Every instinct mattered. She focused, letting the ship respond to her guidance while she made split-second decisions. Together, they stabilized, gliding past the gravitational trap. Elara's hands shook, but her mind was sharp. She felt stronger than ever, as if the ship had unlocked something inside her, a confidence she had never known. Hours turned into a tense game of problem-solving. The station seemed designed not to destroy, but to test the intelligence, creativity, and courage of whoever approached it. Elara solved each puzzle, navigated each trap, and discovered new features of the ship she had never noticed. At one point, a room inside the station activated remotely. A holographic projection appeared before them, showing images of civilizations long gone, their ships, and their technology. Elara realized that the station was a library of knowledge, preserved for those who could prove themselves worthy. "This is incredible," she whispered. "It's history, the past of the galaxy." She felt a deep respect for whoever had built this place. The ship pulsed gently, acknowledging her understanding. But the ultimate challenge was still ahead. A massive energy core at the center of the station began to react to their presence. It emitted waves of energy, testing the ship and Alara simultaneously. The patterns of light and energy were complex, impossible to follow without focus and courage. Alara closed her eyes for a moment, letting intuition guide her. The ship pulsed in response, almost like it was encouraging her to trust herself. Slowly, carefully, she guided them through the waves, letting the ship adjust and enhance her movements. Minutes felt like hours, but finally, they reached the heart of the station. The energy core pulsed one last time, then dimmed, as if accepting her. The station's defenses deactivated, and the knowledge within was now accessible. Alara floated in awe, staring at the holographic displays. Secrets of advanced civilizations, lost technologies, and star systems unknown to humans were laid before her. She realized that humanity could now learn and grow in ways no one had imagined. "This is our chance," she whispered. "We can show the galaxy what humans are capable of." The ship pulsed brightly, almost like it agreed, but the test was not just about knowledge. It was about character. The station projected visions of alien civilizations fighting over resources, wars that destroyed entire planets, and species that fell because of greed. Alara felt a chill. The ship seemed to be showing her a choice. Humanity could rise, or humanity could fall. She made a silent vow. "We will rise. We will be worthy of this knowledge. We will show courage, creativity, and kindness." The ship pulsed, brighter than ever, as if affirming her promise. Hours passed as she explored the station, learning how the ship could interface with advanced technology, how energy could be harnessed, and how human intuition could solve problems machines alone could not. The ship seemed to grow with her, its patterns more vibrant, its movements more fluid. Suddenly, a warning flashed on the cockpit display. Galactic patrols had picked up unusual energy signatures from the station. Authorities were approaching fast. Alara's heart raced. She had passed the test. But now they had to escape before they were captured. The ship pulsed rapidly, almost like it was thinking ahead. Alara felt her mind align with it. Together, they devised a plan. She would guide the ship through a series of gravitational slingshots using nearby planets, while the ship created temporary energy cloaks to hide them from sensors. The escape was tense. Patrol ships moved closer, scanning, firing warning shots, and trying to predict their path. But Alara and the ship were in perfect harmony. They twisted through the system, dodging attacks, disappearing behind planets, and using the ship's speed and intelligence to outmaneuver their pursuers. Finally, they cleared the system. The patrols gave up, unable to match the combination of human ingenuity and the mythical ship's abilities. Alara exhaled, laughing with relief and triumph. "We did it," she said. "We really did it." The ship pulsed once more, softly, almost like it was proud. Alara realized something profound. This ship did not just test strength or speed. It tested courage, creativity, and the human spirit, and she had passed. As they traveled further into the unknown, the ship displayed a new route, a path toward an ancient region of space, rumored to hold even greater knowledge and challenges. Alara smiled, excitement shining in her eyes. "This is just the beginning," she said. "And humanity is ready." The ship pulsed warmly, guiding her toward the stars. Together, they were unstoppable, a fusion of human courage and intelligence, and technology far beyond anything the galaxy had seen. Alara knew one thing for certain. The galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. Alara floated through the endless darkness of deep space, the glow of the mythical ship illuminating her face. Days of testing, challenges, and narrow escapes had strengthened her bond with the ship. Together, they had navigated deadly asteroid fields, outsmarted patrols, and unlocked the secrets of an ancient station. But now, The final trial awaited a region of space whispered about in legends, known only as the Crucible. The Crucible was said to be a place where civilizations had been judged. Only those capable of courage, creativity, and cooperation could pass. Others had vanished, leaving nothing behind. Alara's fingers hovered over the controls as the ship projected a holographic map of the area. "It's time," she whispered. "Let's show them what humans can do." The ship pulsed brightly in response, almost like it understood the weight of her words. Its patterns glimmered with golden light, stretching and shifting as if preparing for what lay ahead. As they entered the Crucible, strange energy waves rippled through space. The stars themselves seemed to twist and shimmer, creating illusions of impossible paths. Planets appeared to float upside down, and massive asteroids drifted in erratic orbits. Human instruments would have failed instantly, but Alara trusted the ship and herself. The first trial was subtle but dangerous. A vast field of gravitational anomalies threatened to pull them into a deadly spiral. Alara studied the patterns, noting the pulses of energy the ship emitted. Slowly, carefully, she guided the ship, letting instinct and intuition merge. The ship adjusted, bending the anomalies around them and creating safe corridors. Hours passed. Each moment demanded precision, courage, and creative thinking. Alara realized something remarkable. The ship did not simply follow commands. It responded to her character, her intentions, and her resolve. Her human qualities, the ability to improvise, to think beyond logic, to take calculated risks, were what allowed them to progress. The second trial came suddenly. A massive energy storm erupted around them, crackling with light and sound. It was beautiful, terrifying, and alive. Sensors registered impossible fluctuations. No human ship could have survived. Alara's mind raced. She felt the ship's hum synchronize with her heartbeat. "We can do this," she whispered. "Together." The ship twisted and turned, weaving through the storm with near-perfect precision. Alara learned to read its signals instinctively, predicting its movements and responding in harmony. When a bolt of energy aimed directly at them, she guided the ship in a daring maneuver, flipping upside down mid-flight to let the pulse pass harmlessly beneath them. Finally, they emerged. The storm dissipated, leaving only stars in perfect alignment. Alara exhaled, exhilarated and exhausted. She had never felt so alive, but the final test was ahead. A massive structure loomed before them, larger than any planet she had seen, orbiting a dying star. Its surface shimmered with ancient technology, and it radiated an intelligence that was almost palpable. This is it," she whispered. "The heart of the Crucible." The ship pulsed brightly, guiding them closer. As they approached, a massive holographic projection appeared. A council of shapes, abstract and geometric, radiating energy. They were the guardians of the Crucible. The ancient civilizations who had built this region as a test of worthiness. Alara felt a shiver run down her spine. She was not facing technology alone, she was facing judgment. But she did not feel fear. She felt determination. She felt the weight of humanity on her shoulders, and she knew they were ready. The Guardians projected images of civilizations that had failed. Greed, fear, selfishness, and conflict had destroyed them. Then they showed visions of humans, resilience, ingenuity, and courage shining brightly. The ship pulsed, almost as if adding its own endorsement. A test began. The Guardians created illusions of crises. Planets in danger. Colonies under threat. Stars collapsing. Alara had to make choices quickly. Every decision reflected human qualities: compassion, creativity, courage, and adaptability. In one scenario, a planet was about to be consumed by a collapsing star. She calculated a risky maneuver, guiding the ship to emit energy pulses that stabilized the planet's orbit long enough for evacuation. In another, she encountered an alien species on the brink of war. She used ingenuity to signal peace, relying on the ship's abilities to amplify her intentions. With each choice, the Guardian's light shifted. They tested not just skill, but heart. Alara realized the truth. The crucible was not a trap to destroy, but a mirror showing what a species could achieve when guided by wisdom and courage. Hours or perhaps days passed. Time seemed meaningless as she faced challenge after challenge, but she never wavered. Every risk, every clever solution, every act of courage was rewarded. The ship glowed brighter, almost like it was feeding on her determination. Finally, she reached the heart of the crucible. A massive chamber appeared, filled with knowledge. Maps of the galaxy, blueprints of lost technologies, archives of civilizations long gone. It was a treasure beyond imagination, but Alara understood it was not hers to hoard. It was humanity's chance to rise. A voice soft, yet powerful echoed in her mind. You have passed. Humanity is worthy. Alara's eyes widened. She felt a surge of pride. Not just for herself, but for every human. Every choice, every struggle, every act of courage had led to this moment. The Guardian's energy faded, leaving only the ship and the chamber. Alara felt the ship pulse with warmth and approval. She realized it was more than a vehicle, it was a partner, a key, and a guide. Together, they had proven that humans could rise to meet challenges far beyond their current understanding. The journey back was serene. Stars stretched in perfect patterns, and the ship glowed softly. Alara navigated through familiar regions, but now she saw them differently. Humanity was no longer just explorers, they were capable of greatness. When they returned to known space, rumors of their journey spread quickly. Traders, scientists, and explorers spoke in awe of the human pilot and the mythical ship. Humans were no longer seen as weak or reckless. Their ingenuity, courage, and adaptability had been proven to the galaxy. Alara looked out at the stars, smiling. We did it, she whispered. We showed them what humans are capable of. The ship pulsed, almost in agreement, as if echoing her words. Humanity, yeah. Alara knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries and challenges. But with courage, creativity, and determination, humans could rise to any challenge. Together, she and the ship would explore new star systems, unlock lost knowledge, and prove that humanity's spirit was unstoppable. As the stars stretched endlessly ahead, Alara felt hope, pride, and excitement. Humanity had been tested, and it had passed. The mythical spaceship had chosen its human partner wisely, and together, they would shape the future of the galaxy. No one would underestimate humans again. The galaxy had witnessed their courage, their intelligence, and their heart, and humanity had earned its place among the stars. Alara smiled, her eyes shining with determination. The adventure continues, she whispered. And humanity is ready. The ship pulsed brighter than ever, and together, they vanished into the stars, leaving a trail of golden light, a symbol of human potential, courage, and spirit. Humanity had been tested. Humanity had proven itself, and the galaxy would never be the same.